Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors card review video. In this video, I'll be taking a look at all 10 Summoner candidates cards from the new Era of Novelty seal. These are basically the 10 non-jackpot cards from the new update that is about to drop. So we will be going through all of them and I will be letting you know what I think about them. That being said, Madhead did release a leader skill for all of them. However, their leader skills are just okay. They will be decent leaders, which is something that I am pretty happy about, that even non-jackpot cards have decent leader skills. However, they will not compare to any jackpot cards, collaboration cards, or black gold cards, which is why I will not be reviewing their leader skills in this video. Merely, I will be reviewing their active skills. Keep in mind this is going to be a longer video than usual just because there are 10 cards and there are usually not this many in a new patch. So we'll go one by one. I will be letting you know about what I think about their active skills. But yeah, first thing we have on the GNN is their team skill. Team skill is going to be pretty useful, however it doesn't really add anything to their leader skills, which is why I think their leader skills are just decent and they're not super great. So another reason why they can be decent leader skills. They can be decent leaders, but they will be nowhere close to jackpot cards and black hole cards and collaboration cards. So I will be skipping over the leader skill review. So first card that we have is going to be Sebel, the Cheerful Nature Lover. This is going to be an Earth Human card, CD7 skill, and the effect is 5 million Earth damage to all enemies. Explode all runestones, including petrified runes, to generate enchanted fire, water, and earth runes. And for 1 round, the monster attacks increases by 4 times. So basically, this is going to be a sniper card. It will be useful to get rid of stealth shields, as well as generating runestones to break trio enchanted elemental shields. This card also gets a ×4 self-attack boost, which can make her a pretty good burst card, but in my opinion CD7 is a little bit slow for snipes. So a sniper, CD7 is pretty slow. However, being able to explode all runes, get rid of all board debuffs, including petrify runes, is going to be good, as well as generating enchanted trio elemental shield runestones to break those shields is going to be also really good. So as overall, I do think this is a good member card. I do think she can be useful in earth teams to break those trio elemental shields, as well as a burst option because of the ×4 monster attack bonus. The snipe is just a bonus. I wouldn't use her as a regular sniper. If the sniper is early on the stage, I would bring a CD1 sniper. But if you have the ability to store for 7 rounds and use her as a sniper in that case, that she should be able to satisfy the role of a sniper in your team. However, overall, I do think it's a pretty well-rounded active skill, has its uses, but there are also other cards in the game that can substitute her. Next, we have Onitsuka Hane, the Hovering Halberds. This is a Dark Human card, also CD7, and it will explode all runestones, including frozen runes, to generate light and dark runes in the first and 6th columns, enchanted light and dark runes. For 2 rounds, the combo count must be 10. So in my opinion, this active skill is similar to the one that we just saw, except this one will allow you to break the light-dark shields by generating enchanted light and enchanted dark runes on the board. Exploding all runestones and frozen runes, that is pretty standard. Also get rid of board debuffs. CD7 is also pretty slow. The combo count, the second effect with the combo count is going to be a good thing, but also a bad thing. Usually, combo shields are going to be more than 6, more than 8, sometimes more than 10. However, having your combo count set to 10 is going to be able to break those shields. Additionally, it also gives you higher attack and higher recovery. But if you encounter a combo shield that is higher than 10, for example, plus 13 or more combos, then this card is basically not useful in those situations because your combo count is locked at 10 instead of and will not be able to increase past that. So this is going to be pretty situational. That's the word I'm looking for. Being able to set your combo count to 10 is good, but can also be bad in some instances. Overall, CD7 is a little bit slow for exploding all runestones with combo count. However, it shouldn't be too bad if you equip him with a Dragoncraft. But there are also other cards in the game that can increase your combo count or explode runestones, including Frozen Runes. And this is because this card is a Dark Attribute card. Dark Attribute has a lot of utility cards, so that's why there are many other cards that can substitute this active skill. So overall, he is a good member. He can have his uses, but there are also many other cards in the game that can does his job better. Next we have Coco the Fnatic Foodie. This is a water beast card with a CD6 skill. For 1 round, the monster attack times 3. If the neighboring member is a dragon or a beast, this effect increases to 3.5 and is shared to the neighboring members. Additionally, the monster and the neighboring monster's damage will be dealt regardless of Quintet Elemental Shield. If the team has 3 or more beasts or 3 or more attributes, this skill stays in play for 3 rounds. In my opinion, this active skill is going to be really good for the new Kunes team. Kunes is a water beast card and also has a self-attack increase whenever enemies are stunned. So putting this card next to him will also be beneficial for a Kunes team. Additionally, for a Himiko team, if you're running beast cards or dragon cards, this is also a good member to put next to the second team member because it will boost their attack by 3.5. And if you're running more than 3 attributes, which is pretty easy in a Himiko team, or running 3 beasts, which is also pretty easy, this effect stays for 3 rounds and it will allow you to launch higher damage output. So in my opinion, Coco the Fnatic Foodie is going to be one of the must-gets from this non-jackpot cards because his active skill fits the new leaders as well as Himiko really well. Moving on, we have Kogol the Fiery Stripes. This is a fire beast with a CD6 skill. For 1 round, extend runestone movement time to 15 seconds. The more steps you move, the higher your team attack to the max of 2.5. And if the team has 3 or more beasts or 3 or more attributes, damage received from burning will be reduced to 1. In my opinion, this active skill is very similar to Jabir's active skill, which means that if you have Jabir, there's not much of a reason to get this card. You are able to ignore burning runes, which is a benefit, especially for some beast teams that don't have burning rune protection. So that is going to be a benefit. However, I do think for fire beast cards, in terms of damage increase, there are other options. But if you lack those options, or if you lack those cards like Boisiana, Jabir, etc., then this card can be a good addition to your team. CD6 is pretty standard and pretty fast, and that 15-second rune movement time is going to be pretty good. And 15 steps is not that hard to hit. You just have to spin in place like a couple times, and you will be able to get that 2.5 attack increase. But yeah, next we have Water Lily, the Flower Artist. This is a fire elf with a CD6 skill and the following effect. Tap a runestone to turn the adjacent runestones into enchanted elf runes of that type. For 3 rounds, runestones of that type also possess the effect of other attributed runestones. In my opinion, this is one of the few active skills that I don't really think are good. It does generate more attacking runes. However, only 1 runestone, it means that you're just generating 4 more runestones, which is not that great in terms of generating attacking runes. And also generating for multiple number shields, 4 runestones is not that great. You're also not generating that many attacking runes. And the runestone possession effect is also very lackluster because a lot of the current meta teams in their team skills already have runestone possession effect. So this active skill is a little bit useless at this point, in my opinion. There are many other cards in the game that have better utility, and some of these utility cards also have runestone possession effect or can generate more attacking runes than Water Lily. So in my opinion, this card Definitely not a good card. Might be good to have if you're just starting the game and don't have anything else. But if you have other elf cards in the game, then definitely you can skip this card. You can always keep it at level 1 if you have it. Next we have Kokira, the Flaming Dragonhorn. This is a Dark Dragon card with a CD7 skill. Recover HP as much as 2 times the dragon HP. And for 1 round, you get unlimited runestone movement time with 12 seconds of spinning time. Also, runestones touched while moving will be turned into dragon runes. So in my opinion, CD7 Time Tunnel, always welcome to the team. Always welcome to any teams, basically. For me, Time Tunnel is one of the best skills in the game. HP recovery is always situational, but it can be good whenever the enemy brings you to 1 HP and they have poison or thorn trails. In those cases, being able to recover your HP is going to be really good. However, I do think if you want to recover your HP, Nidhogg might be a better option. He does do 2.5 times dragon HP, which is more than Kokira, but Kokira does give you that extra time tunnel. Additionally, it does generate more dragon runes, which can increase your damage, but overall I think I would only use this skill for the time tunnel rather than the other 2 options. The other 2 options can be just beneficial bonuses for your team. So I do think this card is good, quite situational, so definitely not a must pull, but if you get it, it's not a bad thing. So let's move on to the next one. We have Ling Shen, the Flute Fairy. Ling Shen, the Flute Fairy. It's a Earth God card with a CD7 skill and the following effect. For 1 round, fully recover HP upon skill activation and at the end of the round. For 2 rounds, extend runestone movement time by 5 seconds, and the first 5 runestones touch will be converted into enchanted god runes. Combo count and EX combo count increases by 5. This is not a bad card. Again, recovering HP is pretty situational depending on the enemies. The fact that you recover HP both when you activate the skill and at the end of the round, that means that if the enemy has like a burn trail or a burn runes or thorn trail, you are still able to recover your HP before the enemy attacks. So even if these enemies have 0 recovery or like 0 recovery debuff, you are still able to recover your HP after getting burned or after getting thorny path, which can help you survive in certain situations. The 5 extra movement time, 5 seconds extra movement time is always good, and 5 runestones touch into enchanted god runes can be pretty good if you have certain muck runes or lock runes, but overall it will just be a small bonus attack increase. The combo count plus 5 also really useful, especially when you have annoying enemy skills, but they also have high combo shields. So definitely also a card that is worth getting. Not a must pull, but definitely worth getting. Next we have Lorraine, the Crimson Scepter. This is going to be a light demon card. CD7 skill, again with the following effect. Explode all lock for recovery runestones, and for 1 round, damage received will be converted to HP recovery, and if HP is full upon skill activation, team attack times 2.2. So the first effect is going to be super situational. Unfortunately, I would have preferred if it were explode all runestones, because that will give it more versatility and allow you to get rid of more board debuffs. However, this effect will only get rid of 1 specific board debuff, which is the lock for recovery runes, which if you're facing those, this skill is going to be really good. However, the core of this active skill and the reason why I want to get it is going to be the second effect, which is the damage received will be converted to HP recovery, which means that you are able to dodge the enemy's attack without dying. So even if the enemy attacks for, I don't know, 100,000 or 60,000, you are able to absorb this damage without dying. And this also bypasses Phantom because you are not reducing your damage, you're just you're taking the damage you take and making it HP. So even if you receive 99,000 damage, you can still convert that to HP recovery and you will survive the hit. So this is better than any damage reduction because it counters enemies that have phantom skills that ignore damage reduction. So CD7 for a dodging skill, not bad. So definitely worth getting this card in your hands. If you have Honda, then you don't necessarily need this card. Honda is basically the same effect. But if you don't have Honda, I would consider this a slightly lower must pull. But if not, then this is a card worth getting. Next, we have Floorie, the charging laser. This is a light machina with a CD7 skill and the following effect. Turn runestones of the attributes of machina into machina runes, and when all machinas have 100% fuel upon skill activation, all runestones will become enchanted runestones. For 1 round, machina damage will be dealt regardless of defense, and for each machina runestone dissolved in the first batch, the monster launches an extra light attack as much as 50% of its attack to the max of 30 attacks. So this is actually not a bad skill. The max amount that we've had before in terms of extra attacks is 20. So being able to launch 30 attacks is actually going to be really, really beneficial for a single card. It will help you break those multiple attack shields. Usually they used to be 20, but nowadays they have increased to about 30, 50, etc. So having Floorie being able to launch 30 extra attacks for 30 Machina runestones is actually going to be pretty useful for your teams. Again, these enemies, you can get around them pretty easily with certain team skills. So I wouldn't say that Floorie is a must get in order to break those cards, enemy skills. Especially she doesn't have any attack increase, so even if she launches 30 extra attacks, you shouldn't count on her being your damage dealer because she doesn't have extra damage increase in order to make it a good burst option. Basically just launching so many attacks that you potentially kill the enemy in one shot. But in my opinion, I would run her mostly to break those multiple attack shields. But yeah, being able to convert all runestones into Machina runes, also beneficial, increases your attack, and you will also deal damage regardless of defense. So definitely not a must pull, but also worth getting this card. Lastly, I think, yes, we have Doletto, the Innova Machinist. This is a dark Machina card with a CD7 skill and the following effect. For 1 round, electrify all enemies to inactivate them. The monsters and the neighboring members attack times 3, and where all Machinas in the team have 100% fuel, then the skill CD of light Machinas and dark Machinas will be reduced by 1. I believe this is one of the very few dark cards that can electrify enemies. So definitely worth getting this card just for that flexibility in team building in the future. Inflicting status is becoming more and more common as a requirement to kill certain enemies. So being able to have different cards that inflict status is pretty useful in my opinion. So being able to get a dark card or dark Machina card that can electrify enemies is actually going to be pretty useful and pretty beneficial. I think there are very few dark cards that can electrify enemies. If anything, there's just 1 or 2. So being able to expand your inventory pool and utility card pool is always beneficial. So definitely worth getting this card. However, if you already have one of the dark cards that electrifies, then it's less necessary for you to get this card. But yeah, however, keep in mind that all these cards are non-jackpot cards, which means that if you are pulling for the jackpots, chances are you will encounter 1 or 2 of these for sure. So if you get them, it is going to be a good addition for your card for most of them. All these are decent members. They can be decent leaders for easier stages. I don't think as leaders they are able to break or clear more advanced stages like Nightmares, more recent Ultimate stages, and Challenge level 10 stages, but they should be able to clear pretty easy stages without a problem. In terms of active skills, they are all pretty good members, except Water Lily. Water Lily is completely useless, in my opinion. They are all pretty good members to have in your inventory, but the only must pull that I would say would be Coco the Fnatic Foodie. This card will allow you your new Kunes team to shine even better, but you can also add him in a Himiko team if you have Himiko as a pretty decent damage booster. Oh, yeah, that's all 10 cards. Sorry if it felt rushed. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in this video is just the 10 active skills of the new Summoner Candidate series. Overall, I do think it is a very well built series. Different races, different attributes, which will allow you to increase your card pool and increase more your options when you're team building. So that is good for both advanced players as well as new players in the game. Also for newer players, if you lack a lot of powerful leaders, these cards can also be semi-decent as leader cards. But if you pull a jackpot or a black gold card, those will be definitely better than these cards. But they can be decent leaders, like I said before. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about these cards. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if I said anything wrong. And as always, stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tower of Saviors content. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!